Hello, hello.
How you going?
Good, thanks.
That's good. Well, you don't look as bad as I thought you might. You've been a busy, flat out man.
I know it's been crazy. We
Oh,
and we're about to go on the last sort of gasp of this tour, so to speak, in a bit less than 2 weeks now.
yeah. Well, you still look good.
Thanks. Yeah, it keeps me fit and keeps me, kind of occupied. So your mind doesn't go into the I don't
I
know.
thought you might have been looking a little bit worse for wear because jeepers, it's been massive.
It has been, yeah. We just did 20 shows in 32 days, and in America we did 21 shows in 26 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, mental.
Well, yeah, it is mental. Congratulations.
Why do we do this to ourselves? Why?
That's the question. All righty. Should we get started?
Sure, no worries.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome into the Zoom room today a friend of the show, Dave Faulkner from the Hoodoo Gurus. Yay.
Hey, good to be here.
Nice to see you again, Dave. Last time we spoke back in June last year, you were just about to embark on a 20-plus day tour around Australia. 21 days later, and most of those, I think, were sold out.
Yeah.
You're on the homeward stretch, but you're looking all right. You're not looking any worse for wear.
Well, it's good for me. I don't drink when I'm on tour unless I have a day off. I might have a couple of drinks after a show, but like on a show day, don't drink alcohol, don't even drink coffee on a show day. You're up on stage, you're jumping around like a lunatic and losing all this, fluid, sweating everything out, and also that the muscles are working, including the diaphragm. So it's like a workout. Aerobic fitness is what I think of it as.
So you're fitter when you're on tour than when you're not.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, absolutely. I stack on the calories, go, have too many bevies and don't do enough physical activity. I mean, I do a bit of exercise and stuff, but generally speaking, on tour is pretty rigorous, so it's kind of like jungle training or something.
So that's why you're looking so good then.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'll take that.
Yeah, you do. So you're having a little well-deserved break, and then you're going to kick off this year, 2025, with, is it 7 final shows?
Eight shows, and then there's one that's not actually on our website, but it's actually a private thing in a pub somewhere. It's kind of a thing they do every year, special thing. They get a fancy band in and just have it for their locals, and it's kind of fun. But 8 shows, and then we're off to New Zealand in April for 3 shows, and that'll be the official end of the Stone Age Romeo's 40th anniversation celebration, which of course now it's up to 41 years. Because
you've been celebrating so long.
I know. Well, we started late. What happened was the tour wasn't put together till the last minute because our manager of many years standing, decades in fact, was unwell, and basically he dropped the ball a little bit in his final illness, which unfortunately took his life. So when all that was happening in the beginning of last year, like about March is when he passed away, we suddenly had to say, what the hell are we doing now? That's a big decision. And our new manager, who we've known for many years, he's was our tour manager back in the late 90s. He basically, in the space of 3 days, put this whole tour together. And of course, we just didn't know what would happen, whether it would be people would be interested in this idea or not. And of course, the tickets went out the window really fast and out the door, isn't it? I don't know. You throw things out the window, you march out the door. I don't know. And
they went like hotcakes.
They went like hotcakes. Thank you. And so we added more shows, and of course, some of those shows are what we're about to embark on now, just to kind of wrap it all up in Australia.
Yeah. Well, what a magician he is.
Yeah. Well, as I say, we just thought, hopefully people will find this, idea okay. And, suddenly we had to add show after show. We ended up doing four shows in Perth and, extra Enmores, and had extra venues in Melbourne and Sydney. It was amazing. And the shows have been incredible. That's the best part about it. Apart from the fact that, the excitement in the audience, which obviously they express through buying tickets, but just the people that are there. I mean, we played at this venue in Perth four nights in a row, and the people there said this is the first time we've ever had 4 concerts ever in our history without a single complaint from anyone about anything. So there wasn't anything about the price of the beer or the temperature of the beer or the, couldn't get to the toilets or whatever it is. People complain about everything usually. Someone's got some gripe about something, but not a single complaint over 4 nights. They couldn't believe it.
Well, that's a pretty big compliment.
It is. It means that people were entertained and they're enjoying themselves, and we certainly were entertained and enjoying ourselves. And I think that showed too, with the way
they were having too much fun to sweat the small stuff.
Exactly.
And worry about the temperature of the beer.
And we also invited all the party people, so the sticks in the mud probably didn't get there.
So you're finishing up with a big final show at Selena's. Is that going to go off or what?
One hopes, it's an old traditional venue for us from back in the day, way back when in the late 80s and stuff. And that was almost like our home base in Sydney. And there's certainly been a hot ticket. I've got so many people trying to get me to put them on the guest list or something, and it's mental. But it's not used very often as a venue these days. Once in a blue moon, and so we're happy to put our little once in a 40-year anniversary along with their once every 6 months, whatever they do. I'm not sure how many gigs they do a year, but it's not many, because they are basically in the process of knocking it down and building an apartment complex or something is their plan. So that's all still in the pipeline. But right now they're saying, well, yeah, we'll have a Guru to Gurus gig. Why not? Yeah.
Well, that'll be a big party night, I reckon.
It will be, and we have a lunch planned for the next day for us with our crew and everyone to celebrate. A job well done.
Yeah. Well done. So when we spoke last, you were sort of, I think, just playing with the idea or considering the idea of playing the Stone Age Romeo LP in its entirety to celebrate, obviously, its 40th anniversary. So obviously you decided to do that and some hits as well, and that has worked immensely.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing we had to decide was, we knew we'd have to play a longer set because there's people that obviously they love Stone Age Romeos, but there's a lot of fans that, they may like a few songs but not know the whole album, and we knew they'd be coming to see a Hoodoo Guru show and they want to hear all the songs they know. And plus we want to throw in a few extra things that kind of, spice up the mix as well. So we extended our shows. So that's basically we're playing about an hour and 45 every night, which is a lot. For a rock and roll band, that just pumps it out. And especially for our drummer, Nick. It was funny when we started this tour, we went to Brazil and we weren't doing the Stone Age Romeos thing there because those fans, they loved that album, but they came aboard a bit, probably a couple of albums later. It was more the era where the Brazilians got into the Hoodoo Gurus. So we didn't worry about doing it there. But in America, we decided to do that. So the first show was funny. I remember we were in Austin, Texas, and I started to get to write the set list, and I suddenly realized, what if this doesn't work? This might be, we do this for the first album, and it's either it will just be, people won't be excited, and they won't because they won't know it well enough, and they'll be bored, or else the opposite will be people that love that but don't like anything else, and the show falls flat. I just didn't know how it would work. It was funny, having to never considered it really, but sort of tweaked the set a little bit and figured out how to do it. And, we're pretty much a well-oiled machine now. It's going great guns.
So do you guys play the same set list every night? I mean, I guess the album part never changes.
That's right. So that was a strange thing as well, where we were pretty much locked in for the first 11 songs. That's it, and it's funny. It sort of flies by in terms of time. Before you know it, it was like saying, okay, now we're going to side 2, and next thing you know, the album's over. It's pretty amazing how fast it goes. And we've been doing it now quite a lot, but it's still really exciting, and it doesn't at all drag in our thing. At the end of the show, we've sort of tend to sort of play the same songs as well, because there's some songs that pique everyone's excitement, as well as they're bigger hits that people really everyone knows. So we always do that. So we kind of have the top and the bottom of the set are all pretty set, and it's just the middle bit we get a chance to play around. And we always do on this tour we've been doing a request spot as well, so that something random can come in that we haven't thought of, that some fan is really that's the one we want to hear him play, and they get their chance to sort of one person out of a whole crowd, I suppose, is pot luck. But
so you do get to mix it up a little bit.
So totally, so we do. We do. So it's just the middle of the set basically. So and the encore, of course. But that's the random element. We call it privately. We sort of describe it as stump the band. So sometimes I pull out a song that's like, oh God, we haven't played that one forever, or and especially with Nick, because Nick joined us 10 years ago, but we haven't. He didn't play on all the albums, obviously, and so he doesn't know those songs. He listens to them a lot. He's actually a huge fan of the band before he joined, so he knows a lot of the songs just from memory. But it's one thing to sort of know how the song goes, another thing to actually play the right drum feel and get all the cues where you stop, and start different sections and all those sort of things. They're quite complicated. So, yeah, it's a lot to expect Nick to know every song backwards, but he doesn't do a bad job, by the way, of getting even ones that he hardly knows.
He must be obviously just a great musician. So if he doesn't know it, he can wing it.
Totally, absolutely. He's a brilliant. I mean, he probably gets it, better than us sometimes. Like we I sometimes go, "What key is that in?" Even I don't even know what's the
what's the next line.
Yeah, well, I've had that one a little bit occasionally, but mostly it's more the keys and the like. Does that start in G or an A? Like sometimes you're just not quite sure.
Yeah,
weird things like that.
Oh, it probably actually doesn't matter because all the people out in the audience, all the punters, they'll just be singing along and enjoying it. And
there's a lot of that going on, that's for sure. I mean,
exactly right.
It's been funny. There's one of the songs that's become a unbeknownst to us, it seems to become a real sing-along anthem is a song called Bittersweet from our second album, Marzi's Guitars. Out of nowhere, there seems to be that's one that people really all want to sing along to, which it's been amazing. It's because kind of amazing funny? Feeling. Yeah.
Because you can never really predict that. It'll either happen or it won't. You can't really plan it.
That's right. I mean, they sing along to a lot of songs, mind you. I've got to say that, but for some reason, that one seems to be kind of almost, it's a
bit of an anthem.
Yeah, it has. And of course, we've had the other thing happening, which is in the song "My Girl" from Stone Age Romeos. We seem to be getting a little bit of a crowd call and response moment where
I was going to say, have you got any angels thing happening?
We have. It's going, and it's been kind of weird, and it's not. There's no swearing, mind you, but the song "My Girl" in the bridge section, I talk about, when I went out, she was alone. She said, "I would like to go home." I said, "Who were you with?" Well, on that line, they always yell that out. I said, "Who were you with?" She said, "No one." They yell that out too. It's just like, okay. I mean, I guess that's just, I think it's because people, when they hear the song, and they love it, that's something that sticks in their mind, and they kind of, in their mind, they can almost sing that bit themselves without having to, learn it, it's something they know backwards, so just somehow it just pops out when they're in the show as well, and everyone's doing it at the same time.
Aussies, we tend to do that a little bit, don't we? I love that. And you know what? It might even expand as time goes on.
No swearing, no. That's all I ask. No swearing.
No, that's been done. That's old hat.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to have swearing in that song. I mean, other songs perhaps, but not that one.
Yeah, no.
Unpleasant.
Not appropriate, no. Okie dokie, where are we up to, Dave? What were we talking about? All right. Now, so the tour, fantastic as it is, every tour's got a good story. Have you got a good story that you can tell us?
Trying to think. I mean, well, not really a good story, but I caught COVID in America 1 week into our heavy US schedule. That was pretty hard work. Both Nick and I caught it within a few days of each other.
So what happens now?
Well, it was just, I'd had the actual vaccine a week before, and so had Nick, but I managed to basically I went negative in 24 hours. It was amazing because I also had the antivirals in my suitcase just for such an eventuality. So yeah, it was but it affects my voice, and in fact that made life tough for me. The falsetto part of my voice has a couple of little potholes where I have to sing some songs that really kind of drill in on those notes, and it's quite awkward. So I have to leave those songs out for a while that's all happening.
So these days, you didn't have to cancel anything, you didn't have to isolate, you just had to be
I mean, obviously
sensible.
we took all these safeguards, and the people are pretty safe from us. We're a long way from them and all that. And our crew and everyone, we're masking up, and we're no one's using the same
being
microphones.
Sensible.
I mean, it's still like even now, without anyone, everyone's healthy, but our road crew he's setting up the microphones. He uses a different microphone to mine when he's setting the sound up on the monitors.
Yeah.
So he'll take that mic off and put mine on, so only I use that one, things like that. So we practice kind of sensible things.
Yeah,
as far as crazy stories, I'm trying to think if there's any on this tour, because we were so damn busy.
I bet you didn't have time. Or is it what happens on tour stays on tour and you can't?
No. Because the thing was, we're a little bit, we're not idiots, and we've been doing this a long time, and you'd kill yourself if you lived that sort of fantasy lifestyle that people imagine, of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I mean, the rock and roll is there. That's pretty much the other things in their place.
Not so much. You've grown up now.
Yeah, but also, like, as I say, I don't even drink on a show day. So, that's hardly a recipe for me going out and creating mayhem after a show, because I'm back in bed having a cup of tea, before I go to sleep. And that's for real. I mean, Angus Young is the same, AC/DC, he doesn't drink alcohol ever. And his favorite thing's a cup of tea, and a cigarette in his case. Yeah. But I'm a non-smoker, so just a cup of tea will do me. I can't think of anything specifically, that stands out as being, that was an amazing experience.
Well, there's
that
still
was unrelated
time.
to the show. The shows themselves are always what it's all about. Everything else is just kind of mundane, to be honest. You're checking in and out of hotels, figuring out how soon to have your meals before you go on the stage, so you don't feel like shucking up, because you've got to have several hours to digest it. Basically, otherwise it's a bit awkward.
Like you say, it'd be a bit like working out on a full
stomach.
It's
being an athlete, really. I mean, you are, and you're training yourself, and you get poised just to give the best performance, and that's what it's all about, just that moment. And everything else is just lead up, and you don't go, okay, I've done my show, now where's the fun? I mean, it's the opposite. The show is the fun for us. That's why we're still doing it and loving it, because...
Well, that's right. You're here for a long time, not a good time now.
Well, no, we're also here because we love playing music. That's actually, you actually wouldn't do the rest of it, because it's kind of boring and kind of, it's a drag, not being at home and being able to sort of relax and do things. I mean, I don't need to work financially. Obviously, no one ever says no to making more money and being, feeling a bit more comfortable. But the reason we all are doing it is because we love music, and that's a part of ourselves that we don't get to express in any other way. It's you're in this special place of in the world of music, and you are, in a sense, yourself a musical instrument. You're singing, you're playing, and you all your other problems drop away, including if you've got COVID or any other illnesses, you completely don't even notice those things, any little aches and pains or whatever. They disappear, and because you're just in this other strange mental state, and immersed in that thing that you've passionately devoted yourself to all your life, and just being in a sense the most best version of yourself.
Yeah,
so that's why we love it.
Yeah, you do it for the passion, and then it makes all of that, like you say, waiting around in airports and hotels and sound checks, that makes all of that worthwhile when you get on the
boredom, the loneliness, the isolation, all those things, being disconnected from your normal life and all. And, I mean, as a musician, we obviously got used to it long ago, but like, for example, we just played New Year's Eve, and we don't normally do that. But, as a musician, you're always playing, New Year's Eves, all these other sort of celebrations. You're missing birthday parties, weddings that all your family and friends go to that you can't be a part of because you've got to work and be somewhere else, halfway around the world sometimes, So those are things we get used to, but those, and it can be a bit disorienting because you feel disconnected in some ways from normal life. But, you get back into it when you get some time off, which we get, big chunks of time off as well, which other people don't get to do. So that's all right as well.
So you do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you then, when this last bit of the tour is over, what's next? Like,
yes. Well, next is definitely going to be some relaxation. So when this tour finishes, there's next few shows in Australia that finishes in the beginning of Feb. And then we have nothing until the beginning of April. So we've got like 7 weeks off, maybe 6 weeks. And we're going to be playing in New Zealand for a few days. And then we're going to go to Vietnam for a special show that someone's booked us for, a private event. And that's an unusual thing that sometimes happens in this world we live, in this music world we're in.
Yeah.
And then we have nothing then until August, and couple of things in September. But basically, it's going to be pretty sparse. In fact, hardly anything at all for the rest of the year.
Well, you had earned a good rest.
Yeah.
And a cup of tea.
And people have probably earned a good rest from us as well. So we're going to give them that as well as give ourselves that luxury. So we're probably looking back, more to 2026, and we have some vague ideas, some things we like to do. Perhaps try to get back to Europe and do something over there, things like that. But they're all in the hypothetical basket at the moment. But basically, we're not. Pardon?
So the R word. No.
Retirement? No. I mean, retirement is only when people tell us that they don't want to come and see us anymore, or when we feel we can't deliver. Because I will not do a show that I don't enjoy, and enjoyment for me is doing it well. It's not just about, we got paid well. It's all about playing well and feeling, excited by what you're doing. And that's right now, people, on this tour, especially, people have been saying to us, this is the best they've ever seen us.
Wow.
This is people who have seen us from the beginning of our career.
Yeah.
Because it's just awful. We're playing really well. The shows just work, and there's a great energy and a great feeling in the audience as well. So it's, whatever reason, it's all come together in an amazing way right now. So while we stop doing that, when we got good.
Yeah, exactly right. You don't want to, go out now when you're on top of your game.
That's right, when we're feeling good and playing well. When that starts to slip, then maybe you have to, drag us kicking and screaming off the stage. But I think we'll probably take ourselves off before you even notice that we shouldn't be there anymore.
Yeah, you've got you've had some pretty great special guests, and you've got the hard-ons coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, completely. We love them. We have a long association with the Hard-Ons, going back to our third album. I think they played with us on shows, and and they're still going like we are, and they're still amazing. So we're happy to be with our musical contemporaries and whatever luminaries like them. They're great.
And you got Magic Dirt.
Yep.
Datura 4 and 5 Spy versus Spy joining you as well. So, some great support there with you.
Absolutely. And that's been fun as well. There's a band called the Reinhardts played with us in Perth who were fantastic, and the Scream Feed are up in Queensland. We love them. And so, yeah, that's just all part and parcel of us trying to, give everyone the best night out we can.
Absolutely. So, they can get the dates on the Guru's website?
On the website and on the Facebook page.
Yep.
So hoodoogurus.net is the official website, and then obviously our Facebook is Hoodoo Gurus Facebook. One word, obviously, for both those. Hoodoo Gurus, one word. And they're all there, and of course, Instagram as well is Hoodoo Gurus _official. Yep.
So get onto the Googleometer, and you're kicking off in 22nd of January in Bendigo. And then again, what a hectic schedule you guys have. You're not sitting on your laurels, are you? You're busy.
No, well, we're probably because our manager likes to economize by putting it all together so that we're not paying people to sit around and do nothing,
Yeah.
Go fishing.
Yeah. Good plan. So Victoria, Queensland, then New South Wales. And was there another one?
No, that's it, basically. Yeah. So
that'll do.
And then off to New Zealand and Vietnam.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask one last question, then I better let you go and enjoy this, time off.
Thank you.
Thank you for chatting to me in your time off.
That's it.
I just wanted to know what you're listening to at the moment.
Oh, well, the latest, I can't think of anything new records. Someone put me onto a band called English Teacher from the UK. But I'll be honest, I go through a lot of old stuff, and there's a anthology of folk and blues, I forget what it's called, from the Smithsonian Institution, which came out in the 1950s, which I bought recently, and I've been listening to that a lot. And just generally, I've grazed across the whole musical landscape from all eras. But It's pretty random, really.
Yeah. And any scoop on a new Hoodoo Gurus record?
No plans at the moment, I'll be honest. We did one in 2023. It came out, and I think it was 22, maybe even. I might be mistaken. Whatever. Well, it was 23. I'm pretty sure.
Either way, time flies when you're having
time
fun.
flies. Well, it was all during COVID, so kind of things merged together at that time. And before that was 12 years. So I'll give myself a little bit of time to figure out, how to do it and what. I mean, we're always recording different things. We've done some we actually filmed one of the shows on this tour we've just done. We did a show in Canberra a while back, which was recorded with an orchestra. Now, whether ever see the light of day or not, I don't know. But there's things there that we could release if we felt like it, but we haven't. To be honest, we haven't even considered anything like that. We're just doing what's in front of us and enjoying ourselves, and then seeing what we feel like doing.
Exactly right. Well, I'm going to take that as a scoop, because you didn't say, never say never. So
Oh, no, I never say never. That's crazy. That's just ridiculous after what my career has shown me. I don't know which way it's going to go. We broke up for 6 years. I said never then, and that was a big hard lesson, which was like you had to sort of swallow your words, because the band wouldn't stay in the basement where I tried to confine it. I thought it was dead and gone, but the band was still alive and well, and it kind of dragged me back. And and I'm really happy it did. In fact, we've been going longer now since the band broke up and reformed after 6 years. We've been longer since the reformation, since than before the band actually, the first part of the band's history. So, I think we're here for the long term still. We're not going soon.
Well, I wish you all the best on the rest of the tour. As I said, it agrees with you, because you're looking fabulous. I thought you might be looking a little bit weary, but no, you're looking great. So all the best for the rest of it, and we look forward to whatever it is that's next for the Hoodoo Gurus.
Me too. So thank you so much. Enjoy talking to you. I look forward to chatting next time.
Yeah, lovely to speak to you again.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Bye for now.